My life fades. The vision dims. All that remains are memories. I remember a time of chaos, ruined dreams, this wasted land. But most of all, I remember the road warrior, the man we called Max.
Yeah, mic check, 1, 2. They see me rolling, they hating, patrolling, they trying to kiss me. Rum and nerdy, kiss me 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 rum and nerdy. They're taking the hobbits to Isengard. They're taking the hobbits to Isengard.
Whenever I'm about to do something, I think, would an idiot do that? And if they would, I do not do that thing.
You wanna play? I'll play. Kiss me rum and nerdy, 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 kiss me rum and nerdy. This is the way. Ready program. Let's go.
Hey everybody, welcome to Rum and Nerdy. I'm Greg.
And I'm Garrick.
Today we have episode 2.24, Rum and Apocalypse.
I don't know. I'm torn between this being a really good idea and this hitting a little too close to home.
Yeah, well, everything is a shit show. Well,
Greg and Garrick's podcast was awesome up until the collapse of society.
yeah. And then we're going to do, like, when society collapses, and it's going to, we're going to turn this totally into a
We're just
fireside conversation once a week.
We're just cruising the wasteland in our nitro truck.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, we're going to talk about rum. Swing by.
Yeah.
Listen to the sound of
we
our
used
voice.
to have some, but we used it for gasoline. So,
Look out for those marauders.
yeah. So today's episode is inspired by this thing that I saw yesterday. And I'm like, holy shit, why have I not heard about this? And more to the point, why have I not gone to this?
And to which my favorite response is, you're like, oh, look at check out this thing, guys. I'm like, yeah, I know. Like,
Yeah, of course you know.
Where have you been?
Well, when we chalk this up to you nerd differently than I nerd, and that's okay.
Well, yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah, you're more of a fantasy nerd, and I'm a heavy car nerd.
Yeah.
And my discovery of this actually came out of my love for Mad Max and the Road Warrior.
Well, and that's exactly what this is. So what we're looking at is a festival, and apparently they're celebrating their 10th year, but it's called Wasteland Weekend. It's in the Mojave Desert. Yeah. Edwards, California.
It's basically Burning Man, but with cars.
Yeah. Well,
And by cars we mean the post-apocalyptic Mad Max 2, the Road Warrior genre of weld some spikes to it, we're going to go.
yeah. And the cosplay on this is fantastic when you see the attendees, but it's basically you go out and you camp. It's 4 or 5 days, whatever it is.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
Remote.
So
But the vehicles are amazing.
well, and I want to clarify though, this is not a vehicle show. This is not a car show.
It is
just,
absolutely not a car show.
This is just very immersive, and we talk about. I mean, we're in that immersive business. We talk about that all the time. But it's just so immersive. The car is cosplaying.
All of the cars cosplay,
Yeah.
and it's hilarious because I imagine some of the attendees are like, "No, I'm a banker. Or I'm an accountant. I'm a dental hygienist." And then, oh yeah, in the garage, I have this '72 Buick with spikes on it, and I show up to this Burning Man-esque festival in the middle of nowhere once a year.
Yeah.
But some of the stuff is crazy. The stuff that shows up for this festival.
Well, tickets they do it in tiered, so they start out early bird, and then they just kind of the closer it gets the markets, so they get 4 tiers of early bird, which I think is interesting. Doing events and other things where you price tickets instead of doing early bird, it's like no. There's the early bird, so it's $290, $335, $365, and $395. So
I just think it's hilarious that you can buy early bird tickets to the apocalypse. Because you look at the photos from this, and it's Mad Max. It's Electric Daisy Carnival, but with more leather. Like I don't know the right way to describe it,
Yeah.
other than it's Mad Max. It's living in the Road Warrior.
Yeah. So this is wastelandweekend.com. You got to check out this website. All the pictures and the videos, and it's funny. Apparently there is an etiquette, because even though it's the apocalypse, you can't just go and start fights.
You can't. No.
There is an etiquette and a requirement around how you interact with other people in conflict.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Anytime early bird tickets are available for an event, some amount of etiquette and decorum is going to be associated with it.
Yeah, well, very fun. I want to check it out. What do you know about it? You said you've been following it.
Well, I started following it because on the collection of random movie cars I would like to someday own and or build. Obviously, the 1974 XB Ford Falcon Coupe from Mad Max is on that list, and I started following builders of said vehicles, and then I found they're really hard to find in the United States, and I found one in the U.S. I'm like, oh, here's a Falcon builder in the U.S. That's awesome. Where was this picture taken? California. What? And there's a thing. There's a festival, and that's really how I got into it. So you say it's not car centric, but my vision of it is car centric because
that was your gateway.
That was my in. Because I'm going to be honest with you, it's advertised as a camping festival, and I don't camp. I don't know if you knew this about me. I'm not a camper.
I knew that.
I'm what you could describe as indoorsy.
You and Sandy both are. Do people who go camping know about not camping?
Yeah, not camping. Yeah.
For thousands of years, we've evolved as a race, as a species, to live indoors in air conditioning. And
wasn't that a Jim Gaffigan bit? Yeah, camping's a tradition in my family. Yeah, it was a tradition in everybody's family until they invented the house. Like, yeah, that really sums up my attitude towards the outside.
That's hilarious. And this is full on. Look at these pictures. This is almost movie set.
It really is. The God, what was it? The Mandalorian, where they just didn't have the budget for all the extras for stormtroopers, so they just reached out to the 501st cosplay group, and they just had random cosplayers show up with their stormtrooper costumes and like, hey, be in our television show. That's what this is. For any kind of a post-apocalyptic production, if you wanted to make, your own Mad Max movie, seriously, get linked up with these people and just drag some cameras out, and hey, there you go.
And speaking of, they are making another one.
They are making another one.
Furiosa.
Yeah, you're so close.
Is it still called Mad Max? Is it?
I don't know. I don't even know if Mad Max is going to be in that one. This one is.
I think it's about her.
It is about her. So I don't think it's part of necessarily part of the Mad Max timeline necessarily. It could be a spin-off. It's a non-Skywalker centric movie, but I'm really looking forward to it.
It is just called Furiosa.
Yeah. So it's. I think it's her backstory. I think it's her backstory.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I know that Charlize Theron...
Charlize Theron?
She was pissed because they didn't cast her.
Why did I hear that? Did I hear that? Did I know about that?
I think she was upset because it was like, no, it's going to be like younger you. And she's like, I can play a younger me. And they're like, I think she needs to be like 19.
Yeah, I don't know I'm not fully versed on all of that drama, so I'm a little leery to dive into it, but I'm a huge fan of the Mad Max series. Everything that George Miller did is freaking great.
Yeah.
The first movie, because not a lot of people, everyone specifically in the U.S. is familiar with The Road Warrior, which is the U.S. title for Mad Max 2.
Yeah. Because
the original Mad Max, very limited release, crazy low budget.
Yeah.
But That's one of those iconic sci-fi.
And it wasn't really like
car
desert
movies.
or whatever. It was at the beginning of this
It was at
dystopian.
It was at the end of the. It was at the end of society.
Yeah.
So it's
that's what I meant.
It's before society collapsed. So it's basically present day.
We're at now.
Yeah, we're at now. Yeah, that's where it was filmed. But it was done such a crazy shoestring budget. If you follow any of the behind the scenes stuff for it, like George Miller, like those were his cars. In the opening, they only made X number of vehicles for the entire movie. Mm-hmm. The last thing they shot was the opening chase scene because they wrecked all of the cars they made for the movie in the opening chase scene. That's why it was the last thing that they filmed.
Makes sense. That's proper planning.
There's one of the cars drives through a camper as kind of a big stunt in that opening chase. That was George Miller's camper. Like he's just like, oh crap, we need one.
Fuck it. I don't need this anymore.
I got one. Drive through it.
I don't camp. We live indoors now. See what I did? You see what
I do.
So,
I see what you did there. But I mean, that was what Mel Gibson's second movie. That was kind of his big
it was Gallipoli and then that. No, I'm just kidding.
Gallipoli. It was like Summer Madness or Summertime something. I don't know.
I do want to say to finish that other thought. Because I find this interesting. The Furiosa recast, and this is a young actress, Anya Taylor-Joy. She was in The Queen's Gambit, which, by the way, was also really...
Oh, what's her face from The Queen's Gambit?
Yeah, the girl that plays the chess player.
The Queen from The Queen's Gambit?
Yeah.
Which was an amazing... That was Netflix, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Netflix? That was a fantastic miniseries if you haven't seen that yet. She'd do a really good Furiosa.
Yeah, it's her. I'm trying to think that a recognizable Chris Helmsworth, and director George Miller's doing it. This is not like one of those I'm handing it off.
No, and I had this conversation with somebody recently. The Mad Max Fury Road is such a beautiful movie to watch because nothing was CGI.
It was all on camera.
Yeah, it was all actually filmed. I mean, there was one or two CGI shots in theory, but like when you watch the movie, it's we really drug our cameras outside and we filmed landscape and real vehicles and real people.
It didn't get the proper attention, but there was a huge movement in Hollywood where they were like, no, you need to have a new Oscar category for stunt coordination and to give it to this freaking movie.
Oh yeah, there was the guys on the big sticks.
Yeah, that
was go by and
we're at now.
Yeah, the George Miller in an interview with him, he's like, yeah, I just thought we were gonna like add him in post or do some green screen thing, and then he showed up on set and the guys were there with the dudes on sticks, and he's like, oh shit, we're really filming that? Oh okay, that makes sense. Yeah, sure.
There was a really high likelihood of road rash for that guy on the top of his head.
Oh my god, it was such a good movie. And a buddy of mine, and I'll see if I can get permission to post this. You remember the dude playing the guitar in front of all the speakers on the bungee string things, and like the flames would shoot out of the guitar, and he was like as he was kind of rocking people into battle in the car. A buddy of mine for Halloween he went as a stack of speakers, and then he had his 1-year-old kid in like one of those front baby holster things, but the baby was dressed up like the guy with the guitar. So it was the perfect rig. It was absolutely hilarious. I'll see if I can get permission to post it because it's an amazing shot. But
that's freaking hilarious.
Yeah. Anyway. So good on George Miller. And I was thrilled when that movie showed up to the Oscars and it was, nominated for 8 Academy Awards. And you're like, the fucking Mad Max sequel? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then it won almost everything it was nominated for but Best Picture. Yeah. But the fact that it was in the running for Best Picture and that it won all of that other stuff, it was vindicating for me in my entire Mad Max fanhood.
Even if the genre is not for you. When you like as a technical person, you look at the cinematography, and when you look at it, it's beautiful. But it's not just that; it's beautiful and hard shots. That is not an easy movie to shoot.
Hard shots, beautiful shots, and I always felt because when you watch a lot of CGI heavy movies, there's this dullness to them. there's sort of it's hard to explain, but you know that you're watching this animated, dull, computer processed thing, and you see it all the time in any, look at any of the Marvel movies, anything. There's just sort of when you see real scenes shot with a camera just outside, it is refreshing. It's like wiping the sleep out of your eyes, and you're seeing for the first time in the morning. That's how that movie was, just sitting through it. You're like, wow, this is beautiful.
So, and I have no doubt that outside of visual effects or cinematography, or actually maybe not visual effects, another good one of that would have been costume design. But more than that, and a lot of people don't really acknowledge outside the industry, or when you watch the Oscars, if you're outside the industry, you don't really acknowledge the fact that sound design and soundtrack are two different things.
Absolutely. Oh, 1,000%.
And a movie like this, the sound design was fantastic.
It was like Dune.
Yeah.
Dune was the same way. I remember watching Dune, and you and I walked out of it, and the nerdiest comment you can make walking out of motion picture, whoa, sound design was fantastic in that.
Yeah. Like, oh my God, did you hear the way they mixed that? Yeah. And it's the thing, most people, when it's done right, most people, you just don't even know it's good. It's just, it really helps put you in that place, in that moment, in that space when you do it right.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. You don't think about it. You can see the, what was it? And I'm never going to be able to pronounce this right. From Dune, the ornithopters?
Ornithopters.
Ornithopters, yeah, the dragonfly helicopter-looking fucking things. Those took off and flew, and the sound associated with them, every time you saw it, you're just like, oh, yeah, that's the giant metallic dragonfly taking off and flying away. And you didn't even think anything about it. And you're like, whoa, someone invented that noise, and I didn't even think about the fact that noise was... really somebody farting into a tin can, but it was perfect.
But even the 3D imaging for that as they flew by, the perspective and the sound from when you're sitting in them to when you're outside of them.
The sound engineering.
Yeah, so layered, so amazing, and just nailed it in every way. Mm-hmm. So anyway, on that note, we're 17 minutes in. I need a rum. Let's take a quick break and hit the refill.
Rum me.
Out of the ruins, out from the wreckage, can't make the same mistake this time. We are the children, the last generation. We are the ones they left behind. And I wonder when we are ever gonna change. Living under the fear till nothing else remains. We don't need another hero. We don't need to know the way home. All we want is life beyond the Thunderdome.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the refill. And today we're going to do something you don't hear us do very often, and that is drink Bacardi.
Yeah, I'm a little shocked that within Greg's floor picks includes a bottle of Bacardi.
So it's not just the regular Bacardi, though, as you would imagine. This is a Bacardi Reserva Limitada. This bottle was purchased, and I've mentioned on previous episodes, there was a crew, Eastern Caribbean cruise that Sandy and I went on several years ago, and it came back with 10 bottles of rum. This was one of them. We did go to Puerto Rico. It's my first time I went to Puerto Rico, and this bottle came from the factory. As you can see, it is laser etched. I had that because you could have it done if you buy this bottle there.
Yeah.
It's laser etched with CFRC 2019. So
the last year before the world ended.
Yep. So this was the bottle that I bought to commemorate our IAPA CFRC party for that year. There you go. So real fast, because it's kind of funny, if you go to rumratings.com, they have it as a 7.9, which is a really solid rating with 40 ratings, most of them at 8. So it's 4 6s, 7 7s, 8 18s, 11 9s. So it's all right there at the top, which looks pretty good. When you look at it, though, it's a pretty expensive bottle of rum. You look at one of our favorite websites, fatrumpirate.com. Thank you, sir. Bacardi Reserva Limitada has long been Bacardi's most premium offering, other than Facundo, by the way, as seen by the way the premium rum produces, other than producers, rather than do anything remotely interesting, different, or innovative. They tend to just rehash same old thing, repeating the same things which initially gave them success, which has kind of become a bit boring. Every so often, Bacardi seems to release another premium rum to their range. Most recently, we saw the Facundo range, whose super premium offerings, Parisio, was as priced as with this offering, just over £200. This is
200 pounds.
200 pounds, yeah. This followed closely.
That's like almost $400.
I thought the pound was pretty close to 1-to-1 right now.
When was that written?
17.
Oh shit! No, that's it's close to double. It's probably closer to 1.75, but
Yeah.
I usually just double it. But still, that's okay. So
Well,
we're
the high end, the first bottle of Facundo we got, which was the high end, I think that was that one.
that was $375
Yeah.
US, which is okay, which is the gold standard for expensive rums.
Yeah.
in my eyes. So
Yeah.
this should be compared to the Facundo Paradiso.
It should be, but it's not. Bacardi Reserve Limitada, as the name suggests, is limited edition rum. Originally, this rum was only to be savored by the Bacardi family. In 2003, it was made available at the Bacardi Visitor Center in Puerto Rico. In 2010, it began making its way into the United States. Since then, and following repackaging, this year is now widely globally available. Bacardi Reserva Limitada is a blend of rums of up to 12 years, which we know is generally they'll name it after the oldest rum they put in it. It does sometimes have 15 or 18 year, depending on where and what you read. It's basically the blend. Fat Rum Pirate doesn't rate it super high, 2.5 stars. But now for us, what do you think?
I'm going to be honest with you. When I opened the bottle, I snuck a whiff, and I believe I said this last time. It smells like a Bacardi.
See, it smells like a Puerto Rican rum to me, but it doesn't smell like typical Bacardi to me.
Yeah, but it's not. I don't know. On the nose, it's. I don't want to say I'm not impressed, but I mean for the price point, I don't
know. Neat. That first sip, neat. There's no ice, nothing. It's pretty smooth. Not a bad flavor.
Surprisingly smooth.
It's, and it might just be because it's like if you're going to go in and see like a really bad movie and you're like, okay, this is going to be terrible. And then it's like, oh, there's a little bit of a plot. Okay, this movie it wouldn't suck.
No, the acting's not terrible.
Yeah. So is that what this is? Huh.
The sound design is amazing.
Oh, no, this is not Dune. I've had worse rum.
I have 100% had worse rum. And do you remember what you paid for this?
I've had worse rum from better brands.
1,000%.
So
and I've had better rum from worse brands.
It was over $100, but I don't think it wasn't like in the $200 range. I want to say I spent maybe $125 for it.
So my initial thoughts, it's not terrible. If your real estate agent gave this to you as a gift, you can
fire them and hire them.
You can smile and thank them wholeheartedly. This is a legit good rum. If I saw it on the shelf next to the Facundo line, similar price point, I'd go the Facundo all day long. All day long.
Yeah. No,
and I'm not even talking Paradiso, because the Paradiso, I just, that rum lives on a shelf, like on a special high place in my mind. This is, but I mean, I'd put this up against the Neo or the Eximo.
Well, the Neo's the
Exquisito.
white. They're that's the.
No, whatever. But even not even deteriorates. So like the lower level Facundos. This is. It's. I don't know. It's not as complex as you would imagine.
No, I mean it'll get it done. It's nice and smooth. You can drink it neat. I just threw some ice cubes in it, letting that chill a little bit to see what that does.
It is very smooth. I will give it smooth. But again, that's kind of the sound design of rum. You know, that's kind of the bonus. You know, is it as a whole? Is it amazing? No, but good sound design.
I can drink it, and I can drink it straight. You know what?
It's probably one of the better rums on your floor.
Right this second, yes. You know what? Adding ice didn't help it.
Really? I was just about to drop a cube in.
Cuban. Bacardi is actually from Cuba.
They are, according to that story we read on Wikipedia that one time.
Yeah, according to the Bacardi family, Bacardi originated in Cuba, and then they went there. Non sequitur, I did finish Far Cry 6 last night, and I mention it because it takes place in a war-torn Caribbean-style island.
So it's like Wasteland Weekends, but in the Caribbean. It's like Wasteland Weekends, but with salt water.
No, I mean, if you play Far Cry games, it's the typical, like, you know, rise up against the dictator, you know, presence, whatever.
I don't know.
It's a good game.
I don't know if the cube does anything for me.
No, it didn't help me. I threw a little Coke in there.
Okay, what do you think? You've added Coke. Survey says
It's solid. It's solid. Again, it's like for the price point, there's like a dozen things I would do first, but
yeah. I think that's really the only thing holding this rum back is just the price point. If it was less expensive, I would probably gravitate towards it.
if you know, flavor profile, whatever. If it was in that $35 to $45 range, it would be a fair.
I would keep it on my shelf next to Zacapa.
Yeah.
It would live in between the Zacapa and the Bumbu.
Yeah.
But would you take this or the Zacapa XO
Zacapa XO.
all day long?
Yeah.
Like there's not even a pause before that decision falls out of your mouth.
No, and depending on how I was drinking it, I'd probably take the Bumbu over it for it too. But it depends, you know, because every rum drinks a little differently. This is nowhere near as sweet as Bumbu.
No.
So it depends on what you're doing with it.
An after work rum on the rocks, I probably wouldn't go to it. You know what you could do with this? There is probably a cigar pairing that would work really well with this rum.
Oh, no doubt.
And there's probably
I bet that Liga T52.
ooh. We could probably also old fashioned this.
It might good old fashioned.
I think there's an old fashioned formula out there that would really do this rum justice.
I would start more traditional, maybe do a little smokiness to it.
Ooh, a smoked old yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would
But go like sugar cube and bitters to start this off. Like go like traditional old school.
regular bitters,
Yeah.
not fancy chocolate or
No.
orange, none of that bullshit.
I would try that
bitters.
and then maybe do that a little smoky and really go that rye old fashioned kind of.
We should try that. Like our next episode, we should just commit to making that drink next time.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we pontificate on all of the cocktails we should be making with the assorted rums we try, and we never just commit to doing it.
It's not a terrible idea.
Okay. We're going to old-fashioned the shit out of this.
We're going to old fashion the shit out of this fucking thing. Okay. Tell you what, we're getting close to halfway through the show. Let's take another quick break and come back, and I have a surprise for you.
Ooh.
Okay. So we'll be right back.
Natural burning in a
Okay, welcome back. So here's the surprise. As our friend Dave Martin, our brother from another mother,
DemoDavePro.com.
check him out. He heard our bit, the Kanye or Conway,
Yeah.
and
Which I still think about and laugh.
yeah, it was hilarious. But here's the thing. So we need to commit to us doing a recurring segment. We said that when we did it was hilarious, and I don't think they always need to be those two performers, but it's under that vein, right?
And that can be the official name of the segment.
Yep.
We should do that with guests. Like when we bring a guest on board, we're like, and now it's time for the reoccurring brr. Like the
actually,
Daily Show used to do with the 5 questions.
So Dave had a lot of fun with that, and then this is how it went.
Kanye or Conway?
Okay, so that's number one. It's just really quick.
Just a really quick ba-boom.
Yeah. So it's still call out to the segment and everything else, and it's great, and I love it. But of course, we know Dave can do better.
Is it Kanye or Conway?
Clearly, we have a winner.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That is so perfect.
So I think we can use both of them, as we oftentimes we don't waste things usually here. If we make something or if something is made for the show, we try and use it at least.
One's the
times.
intro, one's the outro.
Oh, that's perfect.
I know you like that.
Yeah. So I know we were talking.
I hadn't heard those before. That's awesome.
Oh yeah. He sent them to the official Rum and Nerdy email address, show@rumandnerdy.com. That's A-N-D, nerdy.com.
That's awesome.
We're saving all kinds of time for the end of this show. It's going to be a short episode just because we're not having to do any of that shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he surprised us with a little gift. And how awesome are they?
That's outstanding. Well, hey, listeners, if you have any good Kanye or Conway
Oh, God, yeah.
bits or things we can use, because it doesn't have to be Kanye West or Conway Twitty. I mean, admittedly, that was a hilarious genre mashup. But
Oh, yeah. I mean, it what it does is it's a title of a bit. It shows that juxtaposition of really you're comparing those two.
yeah.
And you actually have to concentrate.
And once again, you didn't get a 100%
No.
on that bit, so it's
I was really proud of my score. It wasn't easy. I had to really kind of noodle on a couple of them.
yeah.
Some of them were like, yeah.
Quite clearly, Kanye West wouldn't use the word love in anything he does.
No.
Well, he probably does.
And I don't recall Conway Twitty ever using bitches. Not that it was that obvious, but you get the point.
lots of country western stars used the word hose in
Yeah.
their songs.
Yeah, in Miami, you say "ho down," bitch, it's the floor.
Oh my God, was it Wagon Train or American Bandstand? What's that?
Hee haw.
Hee haw. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Conway Twitty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Boom-de-doo-de-doo-de-doo-de-doo.
Oh my God.
What's up to my bitches? No, nothing like that. We're gonna get nasty emails off of this bit.
You know what this rap needs is more banjo.
See, that makes me think. When you think banjo, everybody thinks like redneck country. I actually think of Bela Fleck and the Flecktones. You ever heard them,
No,
dude?
No. Our
outro music today's got to be Bela.
Okay, that's fine. I was just thinking that I think the banjo needs to have more urban representation.
Well, this is banjo and jazz. Have you ever heard? Because I've mentioned too, one of my favorite bassists is a guy named Victor Wooten.
Not Rocco.
Rocco's number one. Victor Wooten is out of all of my bassists.
The fact that I can name one of your bassists.
Yeah. Jaco Pastorius is up. Jaco's my favorite of all time.
Jaco.
Victor is my favorite who's still alive.
Well, I mean, if you need a pulse, it's
Yeah.
weak sauce.
If
but
you want to still be making, content, then sure.
I want to hit you up on Twitter.
Yeah. But Jaco Pastorius, man. Oh,
Jaco Pastorius.
yeah. That's a bottle of rum and a listen and a discussion. That guy was crazy good.
Yeah.
Victor Wooten's more a lot of slap, funky jazz, slap bass kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, some.
Get more of like a Curtis Mayfield sound.
No, it's just kind of his own thing. He's got this really cool song. You can't hold no groove if you ain't got no pockets. And it's like, that's how it starts. You know, you hear it's like this old guy going, "How many times I ever tell you, you can't hold no groove if you ain't got no pocket." And there's, you know, it's just right into it. It's pretty crazy.
Huh. I feel like that's something that we should add in post because I kind of want to hear that now.
Yeah, well, we haven't done the song. Well, you know, we'll just
whatever.
I'll play some. I'll start with some Bella, and we'll do. You know, that's a whole episode right there. Best musician of different topics.
Well, we could probably throw it into because I have a handful of musical ideas for bits that I'd like to bring up.
Yeah,
and we could probably do a whole music episode in the not too distant future.
Do it
when we're not frantically recording on a Thursday night in between meetings.
Yeah. Last minute podcast. We nailed it. On the night we gotta go. No, we still got some time. But yeah, man, I can't believe you haven't heard Jocko.
I have heard Jocko.
Or sorry, Victor.
Yeah, Victor. It's not ringing a bell. I probably heard him at some point in time.
You know what?
In one of the genres. Oh, you're actually gonna look him up?
No. Here's the thing. We're just because we were just gonna do a short episode today. You know what? This is a short segment. I'm going to do a quick break. We're going to play some Victor, and then we'll do Bella Fleck on the way out. But here you go. Welcome to our last break before the closing.
Yo, Victor! Yeah, JD. Whatsoever you do, I want you to remember this here. Yeah. You can't hold no groove if you ain't got no pocket. Yeah.
Okay, so that's Victor Wooten.
Nice.
So badass, right? So he's the bassist for the guy that will do the out. But I, like, you know me. I love those instrumental, really like virtuoso.
Oh yeah.
Guitarist, Steve Vai, you know, all of them. Yngwie Malmsteen.
There's when you're talking about bassists, there's this random guy. I don't know how I bumbled into him on the internet or the great algorithm sent him to me.
Great algorithm.
On YouTube, Davey504. I don't know if this guy's ever done anything professionally, but he has a lot of videos of just him trying out crazy basses. And like there's one, and maybe we can play some of his stuff here, but he plays a 24-string bass. And it's like, oh yeah, 24-string bass solo is the name of the video. But some of the stuff he does is absolutely crazy. And to watch him try to play these comically oversized instruments, it's a lot of fun.
Well, we just we're talking about next week maybe doing the
a music episode,
Limitada.
Oh yeah, the old fashioned. Yeah.
Maybe we wrap that because a good old style old fashioned is absolutely appropriate to drink while listening to good kind of jazzy instrumental music.
Like a haze of smoke floating through the room. Bass music vaguely coming over some monitors.
Oh yeah. I feel like we need to record this like maybe on Sunday. Have some like Sunday morning.
Do it ahead of time?
I'm
doesn't
thinking-
sound like us, Greg. That's not
I know.
that's not the kind of thing we do.
I know.
We should pencil it in last minute.
Well,
maybe crammed in between meetings.
this sounds like a good one that we can just like take our time on and just enjoy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's not a couch, it's a love seat.
No, let's pencil in some real time to put together quality content. Blah blah blah.
Yeah. I think our listeners deserve it.
You think they deserve a little effort?
I think.
On the thing.
I think.
Okay. Well, and with the new studio microphone setup, it'll be fun to get the little mixing station going.
Yeah.
And I can bring my smoking box back.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, do we see if like maybe Sean's available? I've been talking to Sean, and Sean, he's so humble all the time. He's like, "Oh, I'm sure." Like, I would love to. I had so much fun. It's so, it's like Sean is like legitimately one of our most loyal listeners because he will text me or call me when he's listening to the episode. Be like, "Oh yeah, I had like a half an hour drive, so I listened half of it on the way there with my daughter, and his daughter's actually a fan, and then half of it on the way back. It was great, but." That bottle of rum that you got from Warren, yeah, you actually, the little square bottle, you opened it with me.
And I love the fact that everyone is in the same friend sphere. So, like, when we mention something with Warren or something with, everyone's like, no. To hell with him. I got something better. Like, hold on. Yeah, we should totally do that. Let's see if we can.
I'll see if I can put it.
What's really funny is that he's going to hear this episode before we text him. Hey, there's a good test. Let's not, Sean, if you're listening, show up on Sunday morning.
Yeah, we'll figure out the time.
Shoot us a text.
Yeah, text us if you're willing to join us. Otherwise, this is your official invite.
And hopefully we'll see him at the TEA event tonight because there's a TEA mixer at a brewery tonight. Hopefully we'll see him there. Not mention it to him at all, and just see if tomorrow morning when this posts, if he's like, "Yeah, I'm in."
Yeah, there you go. There's your test, Sean. This is an official invite for Sunday morning. I don't know, what do you think? Like run 10?
I could do 10, yeah.
Okay. 10 a.m. We're going to record this Sunday. Sunday.
And
for context to people listening to it next year, this is this is going to be the 21st of August, 2022 is what we're talking about.
The 21st of August.
At the Rum and Nerdy Studio, brought to you by...
2020, 21st, 2022. Yeah, society hasn't fully collapsed yet.
No, not yet.
We're on the way down.
One day when these become part of some culture's historical documents. This is what society was like.
Historical documents.
Thank you for... Oh, yes.
Welcome.
We don't know what we're going to do.
I love the fact that Dwight from The Office was in that movie. That still makes me smile every time I see Rainn Wilson.
Well, and Coulson from the Marvel Universe.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's like...
Can we just acknowledge, because we can't keep on track for anything, that Galaxy Quest is one of the most underrated sci-fi movies of all time?
Oh my God. And there's a certain part about that. It's like, this movie is not just a science fiction movie. This is made for nerds, but it's also kind of made for people who work in entertainment. Because you kind of, there's some references there. You're like, yeah, I totally get that.
Oh yeah. It is so well done. And it is so underrated. And it's awesome is that when you see
Thor's hammer.
Grab Thor's hammer.
Yeah, you will.
I shall avenge you. Yeah, no, it's and every now and then someone will screw something up and I'll say that and like only 3 people get it, but
But I get it. Anyway, hey, we got to wrap up because we've got other things we got to go. Like we said, there's a TEA event tonight. So with all of that said, again, one more throw out to Dave Martin.
DemoDavePro.com.
Once again, showing how much he loves us and we love you back. So thank you, brother. Don't forget to check us out on our website, rumandnerdy.com. That's AND Nerdy.
Social media, also at rumandnerdy.
Email us at show@rumandnerdy.com. And
come hang out with us in Las Vegas for
yeah.
TEA SATE
The
conference.
SATE conference, and we know we've got a lot of listeners in the industry, so we're going to be there for SATE. I'm actually co-chairing. You and I are on a panel on Saturday for the Next Gen. That's the students. So if you're not a Next Gen, you don't get to see that panel, but it is going to be hilarious.
But if you are a student, you should show up because it'll be awesome.
It will. But other than that, we love you.
Stay nerdy, my friends.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!